Hello, wherever and whenever you are, and welcome to Phoenix Iwaki, and welcome back to the Underdark. As we are back here for our Out of the Abyss campaign with these fine adventurers down below me here, and all of you wonderful people in chat, a huge welcome. Exactly, Phantom, 2 raids and the stream hasn't even started. A massive thank you to our wonderful friends over at the Superior Adventurers Guild and the Owlbear Inn. Welcome in, Raiders. I hope you had fantastic sessions and that everything is going very well in your parts of the world. We are very happy to have you here and hope that you are ready and gonna get strapped in and ready, because we are jumping into the Battle of Blingdenstone, one of the more interesting and larger set pieces of this adventure here. So our adventurers have been questing throughout the outskirts of Blingdenstone, taking back territory from all of the various evil creatures and things that have taken up residence since the Drows slaughtered and drove out the poor Sverfneblin. But they have been taking the areas back, defeating those evil creatures, Medusas, strange ethereal elemental beings, ghosts, all kinds of monsters that have been defeated. And they have made diplomatic overtures as well, reaching out to the were-rats of the Gold Whisker clan in the outskirts of the city and bringing them back into the folds with their Sverfneblin cousins. And it is with these new allies that they hope to overturn the amusingly named but rather dangerous Pudding King and all of the oozes that they seem to be controlling and bringing back to the city here and infesting the northeast reaches of the outskirts of the city. Now, thank you, Phantom. Yes, please do pass out that pie. Guild Superior survived the Governor's Gala. Fantastic. Good to know, good to know. All right. Okay, everyone. So, if you are not already, do please give our wonderful friends over at the Superior Adventurers Guild, aka Guild Superior. Boop. And not only those fine people, but the wonderful people over at Owlbear Inn as well. Do send your eyeballs in their direction and give them a follow, as they are both wonderful places that you can enjoy while you're not enjoying yourself here. And welcome, everybody. Papa Dragons, and don't forget drinking their gummy bear juice. Oh yes, that too. Okay, so everybody, we have a Corbin. Hello, Corbin. It's you. Welcome back. Groggily shaking the spores out of your hair and hood as you were knocked out and rendered unconscious by strange mushroom spores last time. Unfortunately unable to join us, but back again, and it is a pleasure to have you, as well as everyone in chat, as well as everyone in the VOD squad as well. Thank you so much. If you would like to head on over there as well, this is our YouTube, as well as our Twitter and Instagram as well. The YouTube is where all of the VODs reside, our previous campaigns, our current campaigns, all over there, so you can catch up and enjoy that if you wish. And they have all the links for the music and everything that we use. And the Twitter and Instagram are good places to get information about what's coming up on the channel. But the best place is our followers Discord. If you are not already, please do give us a follow and we will send you an invitation to the Discord. I want to say thank you. Who do we have? Mimics Maps, Dungeon Master Ty. Thank you so much for the follows already. You will be getting your Discord invites in your Twitch whispers after we go offline today. So just keep hanging out for that, and we shall send that in your direction. Also, we would like to say a massive thank you to the wonderful CZRPG, as indicated by this lovely logo right beside me here. They are sponsoring the channel at the moment and giving wonderful giveaways, beautiful encounter design, beautiful maps, things that you can play as one-shots, drop into your various campaigns. And today we have their fantastic Deeper into Avernus 9 Hells based encounters to give away. If you want to have a look at those, we've used several of them. We use them in Descent into Avernus game, and we have used them at other moments as well. Wonderful little encounters to enjoy in your D&D. If you would like your chance to win, as Streamlabs has promptly noted there, enter in chat for your chance. I see a few of you in there already. Good luck. If you can't stay to the end of the stream, do not worry. We will be sending the link to you to claim your prize in your Twitch Whispers. So do not worry. We understand people being busy and having to do stuff, as we have to do that too. Now, that said, let us say one last thank you, and that is to... Oh, hang on. I didn't do the CZRGP. Sorry. Speaking of CZRPG, they have a beautiful, wonderful Patreon there. Please do head on over and support them if you're interested and able. They have beautiful encounters and maps on the weekly, not the daily. That would be insane. But they do have regular uploads of wonderful, wonderful stuff for you to use in your games. A very, very worthwhile... Hey, Vampire doing? Very worthwhile Patreon to follow. Now, that said, the last person we do have to shout out is the Out of the Abyss artist, Ryutoshi, aka Saladman over on Instagram there, who did these beautiful character portraits for us. Zakan, slightly hidden by your generosity, as they are blinged out with 2 inspiration crystals. Most irregular, most irregular. If you are a member of the channel here and you have some of those lovely Dream Pie channel points, you can spend them to aid our adventurers by giving them advantage or disadvantage if you're feeling a bit cheeky. Of course, you can do the same for me, and there are various ways to use your Dream Pies if you wish to do so. Please have a look at that down there below the chat. And without further ado, let us meet these adventurers and jump into today's session. First, we have Elora Illustris. Who are you in real life? Who's Elora, and where are they at right now?
Great, so I'm Sam. I play Elora Illustris. She is a high elf rogue assassin from Mythtraner who ran away from home to start an outlaw band. Where they steal from the rich and give to the poor. On one of their ventures, they were taken by the Drow, met these lovely people while they were captured, and is now going around the Underdark, basically trying to put out fires as they go around, and disaster and darkness and decay is everywhere.
Yeah, Underdark. Okay, thank you. And moving on, we have Zakan. Who are you in real life? Who's Zakan, and where are they at?
Hello, I'm Steven, and I'm playing Zakan, who is our Aasimar ranger / cleric. Zakan has, for more than 100 years, as long as they can remember, been down here in the Underdark with a divine mission to find those who are lost and return them to where they need to go. So they're sort of a guide of sorts, but vanquishing evil and, yeah. Doing what they're commanded to do, but it's becoming out of control with things happening.
Indeed. We were talking about your previous patron, Tidra, with Tidra's son yesterday in our offline Eberron game. And yes, thank you very much. Last but not least, Corbin. Who are you in real life? Who's Corbin and where are they at?
Well, in real life, I'm a Buns.
Hey, Buns.
And in the game, I play Corbin, our changeling druid / monk way of the mercy. And they, the most interesting thing about them is that they walk down here on purpose. Other than that, I think right now they're probably dreaming of how they came down here, which was, as I said, on purpose through their Black Raven Monastery, where they went to go find a name for themselves and show that they were more than just, death muscle. They're doing a good job so far.
Indeed. Right, okay, thank you, everybody. And please, as one last reminder before we jump into things here, do jump in that giveaway if you are so inclined. Right.
Oh, really? Let me just...
Not you. I was talking to them over there. Right, okay. Now, let us change the mood here a little bit as we return to Blingdenstone. Little swerf-nibbling going here and there about their business. And you, Urban Zombie, and you all. Don't forget all of Corbin's pets, Papa Dragon says.
Hey, right, I have Charcutio and Webster.
And? Absent but not forgotten.
Absent but not forgotten.
Glab...
Globagool. Is Globagool a pet? Is Globagool a pet? I put them as their own, like.
Okay, fair enough. I
But
mean, he's kind of on the overlay. He's hanging out here by Alora rather than you, I suppose.
Strong.
Alora's pet.
That's Laura's BFF. Nothing keeps Darendelle away more than an entire gelatinous cube.
Laura just trains Glabagool just to stretch across any corridor between her and Prince Darendelle. Yes.
What? I can't hear you through the cube. What was that, buddy?
Okay. Oh, Nuke Lane coming through with inspiration for Corbin. Now, everyone, calm down. I'm gonna reiterate. Two is the new maximum. It used to be 1, but apparently 2 is the new maximum.
Hey, I saw that art you
keep
posted.
hyping the Battle of Blingdenstone. I always almost die, so we're just trying to be prepared. That's all. I take glass cannon.
Pudding King looks dangerous.
I know.
Now, as you finished up with your diplomatic mission and connected the Sverfneblin with their were-rat cousins, Corbin, Topsy and Turvy stayed behind in a rather emotional goodbye as they decided to stay with their were-rat friends over in the Goldwhisker Warrens and facilitate the connections between our new friends here.
They earned that character growth. They earned that. Okay.
Cheers, Northshore. By the way, another quick shout out to our friends at the Superior Adventurers Guild Superior there, because they joined us for a fabulous one-shot the other day, one of our one-shot roulette games, which Corbin has been on the end of before. We ended up in...
I've never party mommed so hard.
And I got to be very nostalgic because they ended up in Baldur's Gate and we got to revisit several places from the start of Descent into Avernus. And they arrived in the middle of an uprising, which was the remnants of what happened in Descent into Avernus. So they must have arrived in the city just as those adventurers left. That was a great time. Thank you, North Shore DM. I'm glad. It was a pleasure to play with you all. And as I mentioned, I think it was the first time I've had a group that used so many of their randomly generated things. Any of you joining us today that don't know, One Shot Roulette is our series where we are using entirely randomly generated characters, settings, and stories. And we like to improvise the whole thing in the spur of the moment, and it always comes up rather hilarious and a good time. If you've got it, use it. Yes, indeed, North Shore DM. Absolutely. Now, speaking of one-shot roulettes, in May. Speaking of Guild Superior, we'll be working together with our friends over at the Games Tavern to raise funds once again for the fabulous No Kid Hungry charity in the US. We'll be playing all of our regular sessions during the week and have 2 one-shot roulette games with some very special guests. We are joined by James Hake, Zakan, a special person for me and you, because he was the principal writer on Waterdeep Dragon Heist, the first campaign I ever DM'd, and that Stephen was a player in. We'll be joined by James Hake, as I said, one of the big writers that has done a lot of work for Wizards. Most recently, he was the project lead on the new Critical Role book, Call of the Netherdeep, and he is now the head game designer over at Ghostfire Gaming, that fabulous group of game designers over there in Australia.
Super cool module.
It was a lot of fun.
The season mechanic and everything.
Yes,
the base mechanic. Very
absolutely fun. Right, and I look forward to telling him directly. And we are also joined by Kelsey Dion, aka The Arcane Library, again one of our favourite writers and someone whose work we use a lot in various different parts of our adventures. Wonderful source of adventures and encounters. Beautiful creative mind there. And we'll be joined by Johnny Stanton, fullback for the Cleveland Browns. Oh. and a D&D enthusiast on the side. So yes, we have a very own NFL player in our games in May. We are looking forward to playing some D&D with them. Hey, Cuz and Daisy, how you doing? And we have a few more guests lurking on the horizon, which we just need to confirm a little bit more. If you want to find out who those are, I'm very excited. It's people I've wanted to play with a very long time, all those confirmed guests and the upcoming ones. Please jump into our Discord so you can find out before anyone else. A short time before anyone else, because I get excited and say it on stream immediately after I've done it on Discord. So, Cuz Daisy with the little bit of bling heading Elora's way. Okay, no
Yeah,
more.
We all have two.
Look, see,
We all
see,
have
this is
two
the last
now.
one.
No,
Everyone
we all have
notice? See, look, up in the corner there. No more inspiration crystals. They are all gone. Unless you want to give one to me. Then I can copy and paste. Right, now. So, welcome everybody. Hey, Cuz. Welcome to Cuz and Daisy, our Candlekeep Mysteries crew. Having themselves a rough old time with a infectious earworm of a song at the moment over in Candlekeep. Join us on Saturday for that. Right, okay, so, you lot. Corbin groggily wakes up and you find yourself back in the foaming cup. Right? Is that what it's called? The foaming cup? The foaming mug? Hang on. Yes, the foaming mug.
Yeah.
You wake up in the foaming mug and you hear the sound of conversation downstairs. And you kind of groggily make your way to the tap room and you find Elora and Zakan along with your remaining NPC friends. There is our shield dwarf ranger friend, whose name I have for some reason forgotten. I'm sorry, Eldith. Yeah, I'm sorry. She's pretty sneaky. She kind of sneaks around in the background. I mean, it's interesting. Like in this adventure, like all the NPCs have their own character arcs as well, right? So it's like we're going to the dwarf citadel soon. Your time will come, Eldith. just a moment. I think in different...
You just finished up the Topsy Turvy arc.
Yeah, right. I think in different party makeup she would be very useful, but Zakan, you just basically shoved her into the shadows. I am the guide here. Basically, yes, she's there.
If we get up to the surface, most of Zakan's bonuses are out the window.
Yes, don't worry, you'll only be there for
an Underdark Ranger build.
Very short time before we plunge back into despair in the Underdark. Okay, now, so yes, Eldith is there. Prince Derendil, the poor elven prince, cursed and transformed into a quaggoth. Topsy and Turvy are not there. I could update the overlay a bit there, shouldn't I? But Esmeralda, Elora's bandit chum, is there, as well as... Yes, Corbin?
Oh no, I was like, but not that Esmeralda. I just thought I was going to be saying it with you.
Thank you.
Because you didn't say it for once.
Sorry, I apologize. Not
I
that
was trying
Esmeralda.
to say it at the same time.
Yes, thank you. Despite the fact that it is that Esmeralda's token. Yes, that Esmeralda is in Barovia. Join us later if you want. Nuke Lane, don't forget the disadvantage. Oh, did I miss one? How clumsy of me that I missed a disadvantage given by Silver. Oh yeah, there it is. I did actually legitimately miss that. Thank you. So actually, thank you, Nuke Lane. I do not want to miss out on you.
There's actually no limit to the amount of disadvantage you can put on John. He hasn't said anything about it. So.
Yeah, join any of our fucking charity streams to see that. Yeah. Good.
Oh, is there really no limit? Can you just get loaded with disadvantage?
Yeah, if the donations impose disadvantage, and I had red crystals going all the way around my box on the screen, pretty much. It was vicious.
Well, the gods are on your side.
Hey, the players need it. Roll20 is my friend. The Roll20
like a
dice
spirit
roller.
bomb of disadvantage crystals.
Likes it. Usually, except Rhyme of the Frostmaiden on Tuesday, in the battle there, one of the players, Chase, rolled 4 nat 20s and I rolled 4 nat 1s. It was not good. Not a good DM day. It was rough. Thankfully, it was just against animated flying battle axes, so he wasted all those nat 20s on these relatively low-level enemies. So
That's always the case.
now I shall attack them with the real monsters. Now, thank you for that.
Axes are sharp
Silver.
and then dangerous when they fly around.
I mean, yes, they're very dexterous, but easily cleaved in twain by our relatively high-level adventurers over there. Right now. Enough. We have adventures to jump into here. So, yes, Corbin, you have met up with your chums at the foaming mug. Actually, where is we have? Where is? Here we go. No, there is a tavern. I remember there was a tavern sound set in here as well. Okay, so here we are. There's all these French, the French people in the background. Now you can spend it before it matters. Thank you, Nuclean. That's a good point. Yes. Okay, so Tappy, the tavern owner here at the Foaming Mug, makes a performance check as she tries to do some juggling and cocktail makings, and I use my disadvantage crystal. So, yes, you are reunited there as the day comes to a close. This is the day that you spent in the Gold Whisker Warrens, and you catch Corbin up on everything that happened in their stupor. And
it's very tired.
It's fair. It's fair.
Needed a nap.
I understand. Trust me. The school year finishes today, and the new school year starts tomorrow here in Japan. So I understand.
Let's cut it.
Thank you. All these teachers with their spring vacations. Ugh. Not us lot over here. Right. So you talk about everything that went on, and you have been told that you should bide your time here until the diplomatic discussions have happened between Seni, the quartermaster in charge of the Swerfnebelin expedition here, and the head of the Were-Rats, Chip Grin Gold Whisker. Who, his ancestors really should have thought something was up when he had that very on-the-nose name for becoming a were-rat in the future. And you are doing just that when a Swerfnebelin guard from Digamatok Hall, where the quartermaster sees over presidings, comes running in and tells you, sorry, little legs. It's I haven't run very far, but it's like twice the number of steps. No, I bring word from the quartermaster. There has been an accord reached, thanks to all of you, between the were-rats and their ambassadors, Ambassador Topsy and Ambassador Turvey. They managed to broker the peace between the two groups, and it has been decided that they're to have a council and figure out what to do about the Pudding King in Digamatok Hall. So if once you're ready, if you could head on over there, we're gonna have a bit of a bit of a chinwag about everything that's going on. All right.
You'll gather up and be there shortly.
Right, I'll send word. Right, off I go.
Seemed very out of
Moves
breath.
fast when he wants to. Like,
So
I think Zakan has been now that the glaive is blessed. I think Zakan has been carving symbols and engraving into the long pole that forms its handle.
yes.
That are very similar to what's on their quarter staff and contains
Cool.
because they have that sort of prayer wheel-esque design on their quarter staff that they use for their meditation, and so I think they're doing it with the glaive as well, just carving very quietly.
Nice. Noted. Okay. Hey Laura, what are you doing?
I think maybe Laura's just sitting, cleaning off all of her daggers and her arrows and chatting with Esmeralda.
Okay. Yes. At one point, Prince Darendale comes over and congratulates you on your diplomatic aplomb, and is very encouraged that the remnants of your elven city will be under a wise leadership when you ultimately return to watch over them.
Laura just kind of rolls her eyes and like, you don't listen to what I say, do you? Never mind, it's fine.
No, because I mean, was it last episode or the one before when you started getting friendly with him? I have to pull it back a bit, you know.
We didn't get friendly, I think, after the Squid Game episode, I think, is when I felt bad for him.
And yes, Corbin, what you up to?
Well, after they were caught up for everything, I'm not sure what Corbin wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
A lot has happened.
Some of the Swerfneblin in the corner are having marshmallows toasted by Charcushio. Your red dragon wormling friend.
You know what? I'm very proud that that's all he's toasting, to be quite honest. They're like, after everything that happened with Webster and watching him turn to stone, and they had that moment of wanting to like release him maybe, and like not drag him into any more dangers. And then that was like taken away from them when they kind of lost it for a second and kind of attacked the Medusa at the end of the fight. So like little by little, their emotions have like been like dropping away from them. So they're like, there's not much there.
Noted. Okay.
Is Charcuterie getting like a perverse glee from roasting the marshmallows because the surface of them bubbles and blackens like how skin would?
True.
Like Corbin is just like watching Charcuterie right now. Is like very happy that that's all you're doing.
We said don't burn them. You're supposed to toast them to a golden.
Meanwhile, no, because Corbin definitely likes them burnt and like takes off the burnt shell and then burns what's underneath and just keeps making layers.
That seems so in character. That seems very in character.
Chakushio's first attempt definitely left it just a black wisp of smoke.
It's like
he's getting that fine control,
right? Yeah, it's just practicing.
It's like getting a welding torch to the right, but it's like sitting there like twist, like just like moving their tail, like it's like like two blue fire. Okay, let's see how this one works.
Biologically, the tail doesn't do anything, but like mentally,
mentally, it's like it's how they're like turning.
And then you just twist it just a little too far in one direction, and
roll for it because I have a really fun idea and a really horrible idea. Which one do you want?
It was red dragon flame.
I think while carving, he just looks up to Alora and Zakan says, regardless of your feelings on your kingdom, your intent is still to return to them at some point, right?
I'd like to see what the city's become. I'd like to see what's happened. I have no promises of staying ruling. I will help if there is something I can help with. But if it's beyond anything I can do, I'll just have to make peace with it.
And I know that you said to the Digamatok that you would help in this endeavor, but once we depart to confront this Pudding King, you will be wrapped up in this and very well could be in a great amount of danger. Are you certain this is what you want to do?
No, I think ever since I've gotten this sword, I knew that I was supposed to be here and stay down here. So I'm ready to fight.
And Elora, as you say that, in your mind, you do hear the voice of the blade, the spirit that you reconnected from in your adventures there, where the hilt had been in your elven city long ago. Yes. We must stay. We must put things right.
Something about it gives me hope that we can change things here, even if it's completely irrational.
I've never done anything rational.
Rational.
It's the secret to a good life, a long one at least. And you, Corbin? I know that you're wanting to adventure down here in the Underdark, but this is going to be quite dangerous. You could make your fortune, your connections elsewhere without having to confront whatever horrors are awaiting us.
I'm not quite sure what it says about me if I say that the horrors that I've experienced down here in the Underdark are more inviting than having to deal with taking my family's connections above ground.
Says a great deal. Regardless, you could easily secure passage onto Mantle Dareth or elsewhere in the Underdark. The problems that are rising are not your problems.
I think that stopped being true when I melded with the mushroom girl.
I think at that, Zakan remembers the dream they had, and that vision that they had from Elistrai, and they just sort of quietly nod. I suppose so.
Okay.
Whether I sit down here or do journey up, I guess the only real reason I would is if you thought having a dragon and a giant spider guard would work out for the rebuilding of Mithranor.
Well, I would love to have you accompany me and see what's left, see if there's something we can do. But I don't know. It might be beyond repair.
I mean, at this point, the worst thing that can happen is free flying city.
Yeah, maybe we'll find some treasures.
Do you think that above the clouds is just as messed up as below the ground? I think it's like an equal level of like as above, so below. I would tame above.
That never even occurred to me.
So if it doesn't work out with Musicon, maybe I'll go up and become a sky pirate? Sky pirate with a what?
New territory that's been unclaimed.
Oh wait, no, you guys can become sky pirates with me.
Flying spider, dragon.
Trap
Webster.
cloud spider. How does that work?
Webster just becomes like a massive version, the spiders that like do little silk parachutes and catch the wind and fly.
So the Webster is the size of a horse.
Okay, so
that means he makes a lot of silk. We can make Zeppelin balloons. We can work this out. I'll up this. We could up the crap out of it.
A colony of Websters.
so
we just need a mimic. It's fine. we just
gang.
need one mimic.
okay, so you head on over to Digamato Hall, and as you arrive, the guards swing the doors open for you, and you hear the murmur of many voices in conversation within. And as you go through the doors, you see a group of people, many of whom are meeting for the first time, but all of whom you've seen, except for one. You see Quartermaster Seni there, clearly in charge of the conversation. And she's joined by Gurnik Tapfinger, the priest of the Stoneheart Enclave, the druidic faith here. And there is another Sverfnebelin in similar robes to Gurnik, clearly another member of the Stoneheart Enclave. You see Kazuk Pickshine, the head of the Miners Guild that you met out on the outskirts of the city. And you also see floating ethereally in the air next to the table, Burrow Warden Yager, emerged from the crypts beneath the temple in the center of the city. And
Boss battle cutscene. I don't like it.
and also on one side, next to Quartermaster Seni, you see Chipgrin Goldwhisker and one of his lieutenants from the Wererats. and all of them are gathered around a large map of the city, which looks a bit like this. Oop. It's the map. It's the same map. But now we can finally put the last label on that we had hidden. The Pudding Court.
Oh my. I've been wondering about this thing for a while.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Well, you are greeted and included into the conversation and are welcome to ask questions and talk to any of the members present. So, please.
What is something that we've been wondering? Because I feel like we have a lot of people that we could get all those types of answers to. So, what are we thinking?
Just how much help we can get in going on towards this this Pudding King.
Mm-hmm.
If there's any additional arms and things that we can, or additional soldiers.
Well, Cinny turns to you all and says, well, the general consensus is that we need more information. There is very little known about the state of the caverns that we are calling the Pudding Court. It used to be the rulers of Blingdenstone's chambers. This here was the main audience and administration hub, and she points to that large circular construction. And these were the royal chambers back here, and she points to the east side, just east of where it says court there. Now, all we know is that all of the strange creatures, the oozes and the like that have been drawn here to the city, they are all heading in that direction, and our new friend here, she gestures to Chipgrin, our new friend here says that they are constantly under attack. In fact, until you made the connection for us, they were planning on leaving, so we thank you for that. They were constantly under attack from the east. The oozes attacking mercilessly, unstoppingly from that area of the city. And you've experienced something similar here, I believe, in our marketplace.
Yes.
Now, I would ask that you, with your clear ability to survive in your journeys that you've taken through the Underdark, I need you to please scout out just what the situation is in that northeast section of the city. We need eyes on. We know the lay of the land, we know the chambers, we know the caverns there, but we don't know how many of these creatures have gathered. We don't know what we're up against. These are usually used by our scouts and prospectors when we're looking for new mining opportunities out in the caverns. They could come in useful. They're reparations, if you like, involuntary reparations from the Drow for the atrocities they caused here. These are magical cloaks that they use to mask their movements. And she gestures one of the guards over, and they bring over these very lightweight-looking wrapped packages. And they pass one to each of you, and you barely notice you're holding it even. And as you peek inside, you see that they contain spider silk robes, known as piwafwe.
Is this the same type of cloak that the assassin was using when they took out the king?
Quite possibly. It masks your movement and enables you to move much more stealthily. They'll give you advantage on stealth checks.
Ooh,
I don't
like pass without a trace level advantage.
I'm gonna double check.
I'm saying plus 10.
Is there an item for it?
Piwafwe. It's a very cute name. Piwafwe.
Is it, huh?
Native American or something.
Cloak of Elven Kind. Oh, it's got sick art. It's really cool. Hang on, I'll find it in Roll20 for you. Hang on. Magic items. Magic items. Magic items. Here we go. Piwafwe.
I see it.
Here we go. It's really cool. It's got cool like spider designs.
Ooh. Oh,
So yeah, while you wear this cloak with its hood up, perception checks made to see you have disadvantage, and you have advantage on stealth checks made to hide. As the cloak's color shifts to camouflage you, pulling the hood up or down requires an action. It loses its magic if exposed to sunlight. New claim, me.
Wanted these for a while.
Yeah, they're particularly tricky to get your hands on.
yeah, that's right. Though, now that we know that it's weird with sunlight, if we ever needed to try to find somebody with one of these on, you would just need to use your magic. It's about as bright as the sun. Wouldn't it work this time? I guess I can like a better way of asking. Is celestial light the same as like solar light? Like would that work the same?
No,
Because that's what Corbin thinks. That's what Corbin thinks right now.
There is there are spells that specifically create natural sunlight,
Okay.
but yeah, Zakans are not those yet.
They're like, Zakan, you are a tiny sun. We'll be fine.
But I mean,
we'll be...
Believe me, I have tried to expose the drow using my eyes.
Yes. I also did not read the end of that sentence. It's like exposed to natural sunlight for an hour, uninterrupted.
Oh.
So, it's like Zakan's just chasing after. Wait, hold still.
Hold still.
Okay.
How do they catch on fire?
First things
well as
first is
anything
we
else.
need to go up there. I guess. Are we waiting for them to scout? I'm trying to understand what they're saying the plan.
Yeah, Quartermaster Seni says, yes, we would like you to enter into the northeast section of the city stealthily.
Oh.
And
You want us to scout. We're not going to wait for other scouts. We're the scouts. We're the guinea pigs.
as I said, you've proven yourself time and time again to have the survival skills necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And Gold Whisk, are you going to be guiding us to this location?
Me? Oh, no, God, no. No, you can enter into the area from our side of things, or from one of the sealed doorways of the city. It's up to you, but no, I will not be able to. We've lost too many members of the clan to those oozes.
Where have the attacks mainly been coming from? What direction?
He points to those two trapped corridors where the of the pudding court is.
So if we were to go through your territory, we might have an easier time making our way to the court.
I mean, there's only two options, says the quartermaster. There's the Gold Whisker Warren's tunnels, or there's a doorway. There's a doorway from Trader's Grotto. You know, where those gelatinous cubes attacked. You could go that way. It's your choice.
How often do you have them on your borders? Compared to how often the market's been attacked. Trying to at least find out where things are lighter for us.
There's no rhyme or reason to their patterns and movements.
It's not true. They're all just trying to get to the same location any way that they can.
No, the ones that have attacked have come from that location, so it's not like they're traveling in that direction.
But they were coming back from it. So whatever's happening to them, that they're being released to attack.
It seems so, but it's never been like a full-on coordinated assault or anything like that. So if
That's where we come in.
If this Pudding King is truly aiming to take over the city, Chip Green was saying he's, or used to be, one of our own. Said they'd glimpsed a Swerf Neblin in there. And you remember that Chip Green told you about that last time. So, which is it to be? You gonna go from the Gold Whisker Warrens or from the doorway from the market?
We may as well go through whichever one is closest to our destination, which I believe is the market, looking at the map.
I mean, that whole area of the city is where we want to be checking out. So, if you it doesn't really matter which way you go, and that's the closest to here.
Yeah,
And would we
if we
encounter
do that,
any
then we can
traps?
start stealthing from further back. That way we can not interact with much before we start trying to work our way towards them.
Okay. So you're saying if you go through the Gold Whisker Warrens?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Of those two passages, do you want to go north or south?
North, right?
Yeah, everything's been going north something, so we're gonna go north.
Gonna go up and
Okay.
around.
Yeah. So Chip Grin promises to take you as far as that trapped section of corridor.
Yeah, so past the traps.
Yeah, I'll show you how to safely get through there. Yeah.
And so the idea then is we make our way to the court, we see what the state of things are, what we might be facing, and come back to report to you and muster whatever forces you have to spare.
That's about the size of it, eh? And we'll discuss our options here, and then, based on what you report to us, we'll make a final plan of action.
If it is truly that we're dealing with the Lord of Oozes, then his power is far greater than the three of us can take on. It will require everything that we have. In Neverlight Grove, we encountered another one of these lords, and its power was unlike anything I've witnessed in all of my time.
Well, that's promising. Right. Come back alive.
Well, would you like us to act simply as scouts? And if so, what information can we provide you? Or would you like us to provide you just by visiting there? Or do you expect us to fight this Pudding King?
We just need eyes on. We've never... I mean, if you come across him and he's invulnerable, then if you can kill him, then kill him. But we just don't know what awaits us there, you know? Just
And you believe the Pudding King is in this court?
somewhere. Yes.
I hate to sound greedy because you've provided us with so much already, but I wonder if there's anything else you can give us to help us prepare. Potions, a bag of holding, perhaps? Drops her very heavy bag on the floor.
Yes. We recently discovered that Sam is over encumbered.
Oh no.
Has minus 10 feet to their movement at the moment. The two of
Yeah,
you,
saddlebags on
Wait.
Webster.
as you came over
I'm about to
to.
say we have so many duffel bags on Webster. Webster is like our walking locker. We can switch out inventory. You
Yeah, I think just
have
with
to
the
click
exchange that
spider.
like, yeah, that you can't do it in combat or whatever.
We're in the prep phase, so you can go switch your inventory out at the saddlebag.
It's her own fault. She's been hoarding. She has a whole extra suit of armor, two
Yes.
short swords.
There's a love potion.
That's the least of the worries.
But yeah, that's tiny. I am a hoarder.
And we all
I
know.
don't know. What do you
We all know
expect?
she's saving that for Prince Darendil. So.
Yeah, make him fall in love with
Yeah,
the
to
black
point
pudding.
him at someone. Yeah, yeah.
Ah, no, the black buddy.
They lives happily ever after, and that's the
The
end of the
Pudding
game.
Kings.
Okay, okay.
Don't ship that.
So-
Nobody in chat ship that.
If they do not, if nobody does, if they're like, no, we can. If anything, we're doing the help here because we're going into scout, survey the area. It's so messed up because Corbin just sort of looks like, the grizzly old retired cop that's like 3 days from retirement. that's how
Don't say that.
Corbin is
Don't say
right now.
that. It's a
'Cause
death-
This
it's
is
a death
sounding a
wish.
lot like
It's death sentence.
because this is sounding a lot like what they were brought up to do, and I was talking to the other players, so this is not helping anything with them. So they are just like, okay, so it's a simple retrieval and scout mission. Understood. They
kind
kind
of
of
look
like
over
Pat
Corbin,
Webster
like,
on
in
the
the
butt.
Shift in tone.
Yeah, there's like Pat Webster on the butt. Like that's their equivalent of a German Shepherd right now.
Webster like goes down on their legs.
He's doing a
Like,
spin.
Stealth mode.
Right? Stealth mode.
This is battle mode. This is stealth mode.
This is stealth mode.
Okay.
I could do like a spider video filter. It'll be horrifying.
Please don't. Oh no.
Talk amongst yourselves for a moment.
Okay, no, it's fine.
Corbin hasn't talked to Webster yet. We have established that the stone, the Earth Speaker
They
stone
go the-
that you got, you
They don't
can.
even need the stone. They have it from the stone, and they got it when they picked Druid. They have speak with animals. Just trying to
It's
be
there.
nice.
This one.
Nice to poor John. Oh no.
I'm just being nice.
Fine.
We already know that Sharkishio's voice is that gruffy voice. We haven't decided what Webster's voice is.
Are we going like basically meow? Hey ma.
Hey Ma, please give my spider a Boston accent.
I can't do a Boston accent. I can do a spider on my head. There you go. Hello.
Oh.
That's not disturbing at all.
Not at all, no.
The rest of them are all just Spider-Man ones.
Not the Spider-Man.
That's what Webster sees himself. That's Webster vision. They're just Spider-Man all over the place.
Yeah, you can't
Okay.
speak with animals for the first time. You just hear da 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 da.
Spider does whatever I want because I'm a spider. Can't
Okay, so
eat that guy. Mom says it's bad.
you.
I guess we're supposed to be moving up towards the.
I mean, yeah, it's okay. Yeah. If you want to move your tokens up there, that's all good. You.
To the Warrens.
So the music's so stressful. Okay,
It
Joe.
is.
Yes. Quartermaster Seni and Chip Grin Gold Whisker make their official goodbyes. And there's lots
Don't
of...
give us anything else, I guess.
And
Are we going in the right place?
Or like I asked if you could give me any extra supplies and you just ignored me.
We're like, okay.
That's fine. Like this is why I hate
I'm
royals.
so sorry.
no, basically... Yeah, hashtag blame buns. Don't sulk. It's okay. There you go. Zakan and the buddies have led the way.
Shisha.
Well, basically, they've said, you know, these are their greatest treasures that they've already given you.
Figures.
It was prefaced with, I don't want to sound greedy, but so we understood if there wasn't anything extra.
Hoping.
Yeah, definitely.
know what
Doesn't
we're
hurt
up
to
against.
ask. Doesn't hurt to ask.
Go back
So.
and get equipment.
Okay, so can we say that I put my equipment on Webster?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So if you just deselect your backpack, then you'll be fine. So by the
Yeah,
way,
you can
everyone-
actually you can make a section called saddlebags. which
you
is what I
can
did
actually
for
can make a
some
separate
stuff.
part if you want. Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, folks, I kind of tidied up your inventories a little bit. Put some stuff in. Basically, like everything that's in your equipment is what you've got on your person, and then everything else like bedrolls and stuff like that is in your backpack, and your leather and stuff, just so it's easy to look at. So, the Gold Whiskers lead you back to their end of the city, and through to that section of the tunnels there. And they show you how to get through the traps and point you in the direction of the pudding court. And as you leave them and travel into this, I would like a group stealth check, please, with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Elora's is going to be ridiculous. I hope. Should be.
25.
Nice. It's a gun.
Forgot to roll it with advantage.
Yeah, right click it to get advantage on the D&D Beyond if you want it.
That's right. Let's do one more. Ooh, 21.
Nice. Corbin.
It's advantage of 24.
Nice. Okay. Nothing has a passive perception that high.
We're so sneaky.
You are. And Corbin, Charcuccio and Webster are following their parents' lead on this and are being as stealthy as you.
Yeah, no, Webster was already in stealth mode.
Yeah.
So I just see Shakisha going, oh, and also like crouching down.
Yeah, Charcuccio's keeping their mouth shut so the glow doesn't emanate too much. And as you make your way through and come upon that pool of water there in the north, you see it rippling darkly in the side of the cavern. You start to see patches of slime and glistening patches on the rock surfaces and the walls around you. And let's see, here we go.
Yeah. Can Zakan get a sense for like the slime trails and sort of, what they indicate in terms of movement and numbers and freshness and all that?
It's very hard to tell. Yeah, that you wouldn't be able to read that from this. But you do definitely see the evidence of those various slimes, because the whole area is scoured clean.
So it's that kind of like that smooth telltale, like
Yeah, only the
trail
rock.
that is
Yeah,
left around.
only the rock is untouched. But there is no mushrooms of any kind growing here. And there are these patches, and Zakan, you recognize the patches on the ceiling. Sometimes what are known as green slime. Green slime. No, it's not. And you know that they are not particularly sentient, but they do have the ability to sense life. And if you pass beneath them, they will fall onto you, or attempt to fall onto you and devour you. So you lead your friends in winding your way through, avoiding these patches of green slime on the ceiling and the walls. And you make your way.
Before we get too into it, did we get a short rest in when we were back at the
Yes.
inn all together?
Yes.
Cool.
I was asleep for the whole last session, so that means I got a long rest, right?
Yeah.
I think
it was.
I already had. I still have all my stuff from the last long rest we did, and
Right.
then I was asleep.
Yeah, and it's it's been it hasn't been the enough time yet to get to the end of the day, but there's a couple of times where you kind of go quiet and like push back against a non-green slime section of the cavern wall as there is a schlepping sound, and you do see occasional oozes moving in the space, and an occasional gelatinous cube as well. And but the things floating around inside are not glubagles. You'd recognize those remains anyway. So,
At the very least, we know we're going in the right direction. We just,
true. So, which way would you like to go? Are you going to go south towards the big circular chambers, or across the top?
We should go down towards. What do we think the group is going to do? If at most we need to scout the route they're going to take, so we can bring them in a safe way. So if the goal is to
from the
get down
sounds,
into
from the sounds of what they were thinking, if they attack, it's going to be a full-out attack. So it won't be. Yeah, they won't be necessarily looking for the safest route, but
so they just want to know what they're up against.
Yes, I mean you know, I mean for them, you would ascertain that it would be easiest to attack from the marketplace through those doors, or from the south, from the the newly reclaimed rock blight.
Well, from where we are now, I think going towards the circular caverns. I mean, that's the goal. That's where they want to go. That's where we're supposed to be bringing them.
Yep. So you, with that stealth
I
check,
vote we go down there. I'm not making a decision for the. I'm just saying. I vote we go that way.
Zakan, Alora.
Yeah. Makes sense. Just go straight to us.
Okay. So yeah, occasionally pausing to avoid wandering oozes, you do curl round and make your way south again towards that chamber that you had seen on the maps, and you have like a rough copy of the map with you, I'd say.
So
Are the oozes that we're seeing like? Are they sort of just like around, or are they heading in a specific direction like we've been seeing them do?
They seem to be wandering aimlessly.
So they're just chill now that they're here, now that they're nearby.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, where Corbin is there, that's where you're headed. And friends, yes. And
right,
buddies.
I just wanted to put them up and out the way.
Totally.
Just need like a select all.
I thought Laura was just like, nope. Just tell me what you find, guys.
Right? No, that is. But that being
See you
said,
later.
Corbin would like to peek their head out and just Like they're not just gonna be like, haha. They are
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, we know. Yeah. Don't worry. And your stealth check maintains from before. As you make your way towards this cavern, which Quartermaster Seni told you was named the House Center, is the original name of it. You start to see these patches of slime and ooze becoming more and more prevalent, and then you behold this massive chamber in front of you. The walls of the great cavern are covered in slime, dripping, sickening green slime. Echoes, as we can hear, of dripping water also fill the cave, in the center of which is a large spherical structure, held up off the floor by stone pillars. Around these pillars crawl dozens and dozens of living oozes, heaving forward while reaching out with grasping pseudopods. The sphere's surface, like the cave walls, is also covered with slime. Black slime swirls with yellow and grey slime in a disgusting soup. The unearthly patterns in the movements of the slime straining your eyes and tugging at your mind. As you regard the scene, a disembodied voice fills the cave.
What's this? Visitors? Now? No. Not yet. We are not ready. Go away, pests. Go away. I will call upon thee and all of Blingdenstone to announce our glad tidings. Glad tidings of the Faceless Lord to come at the proper time. The proper time. Begone!
Is this the same giggling mad person that I saw and witnessed when I first joined the party?
No, it is not.
Okay.
So that's a good thing.
I just wanted to ask.
So
Apparently
it seems
we're early.
Yes,
I know, like Corbin's gonna turn around and say that too. Apparently we're early. We should come back and do our scouting mission at a later, more convenient time.
As you kind of whispering this to your friends, apparently they are, or something is aware of you here. And whilst the oozes and creatures here were aimlessly kind of moving about, they all start moving in the same direction. And others that were out of sight round the opposite side of the sphere inside caverns also appear. There are hundreds of oozes moving pointedly in your direction. What do you do?
We don't see anything that's non-ooze like, right? No sort of
Nope.
Nebulin-esque figure.
Nope, there are black puddings, grey oozes, ochre jellies, an occasional gelatinous cube up above the height of the others, but nothing apart from the oozes. And all of them are slowly schlepping towards you all.
I have a question. When we
And they
first
were-
met Gabagool, we were told that we could tell, or the Gabagool even kind of described that after a while of nothingness, they kind of suddenly was sentient, right? Would we be, could I roll a survival check to see if any of these remind me of Gabagool? Not finding Gabagool, but any of them that seem to be that strong.
I would argue for insight.
Insight. Okay.
Yes. Because you're trying to gauge their actions, gauge their movements.
No problem. Ooh, insight's +4. Let's see. Cha-cha. That is a 17 + 4.
Nice. 21.
21 total.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, with that, you kind of look at them, and you can glean from the way they were moving aimlessly before, and then suddenly, after the voice echoed through the chamber, started to move in your direction. They are mindless, unlike Glabagul, and being controlled by something, it seems. But I roll therefore I am in chat. Is that Murder Hobo thinks that's a lot of XP. D&D player thinks, oh shit.
Hundreds of slimes, you say?
Right? It's just, but
Well, especially as we're playing Milestone, I think maybe get the hell out of there.
Yeah. They were all reaching
I
for that central thing.
Yeah.
They would know. They were just schlepping around randomly before, but now they're all reaching towards you.
They have a purpose. Corbin is gonna like say that back, and they're like, they are being controlled. They are hardcore being controlled.
So do you think if we can find the source of the control, we can make them all stop?
That makes the most sense. And then like moving to the side is like one of the little things like.
Is this a walk and talk?
Yeah, that makes the most. Yeah, this is definitely a walk and talk. This is
we're shifting around, we're dodging, we're backing up at the same time.
Right, like stepping over things. Like they're totally being controlled.
When I say walk and talk, I do mean gated community, upper middle-aged woman power walk and talk.
Yeah, no,
Like,
we might as well have two little 10-pound. We might as well be
very
like
specific
a
metaphor,
fluorescent
but yeah, this
tracksuit.
just jumped into my mind.
Fluorescent tracksuits and all.
Absolutely.
But
Sure, because
they
it
are
obviously doesn't want us here, and this may be our only chance to destroy it. What if it's too strong when we come back?
Well, then I say we prep work is the best work. It's like my mom always says, you can't poison anybody until you know what they like to eat for breakfast. So where are they all headed?
Family sayings.
I have a list, okay? I've been waiting to drop them. I have a list.
That's a great one. That sphere is 150 feet in diameter, by the way.
It is a big thing.
Covered, like we can't see into the sphere.
You cannot see within now.
Yeah, and it's like elevated off the ground.
It's 10 feet off the ground, and there are stone ramps, the stone ramps that you can see there, without railings, climb 30 feet up to the small open doorways on the sides of the sphere, with curtains of green slime hanging over them.
That's great. I would like to try to ride Webster up and touch it.
Like I said, there are hundreds and hundreds of oozes coming across the cavern towards you all. Critical misses.
We're all going the same. We're all going in the same direction. We know they're all reaching for this thing. I'm assuming that is actually what is controlling them.
They're not going towards the thing. They're going towards you. Yes.
Oh, I thought they were going towards the big thing in the middle of the room.
Hello, Raiders. How you doing? Welcome in. Yes, like a swarm of hundreds of oozes. Critical misses come schlepping into the stream. Hello, everybody. How you doing? Welcome. We have a giveaway going on today. If you want to get yourself some fantastic CZRPG encounter and beautiful maps to boot, please do ! Enter into the chat there. Even if you can't stick around, don't worry, we'll send it in your direction as a thank you for raiding on by. We can give you a link to get your prize in your Twitch Whispers. So please, !Enter, and welcome in, everybody. We are Phoenix Iweki. We do lots and lots of D&D. We're playing Out of the Abyss at the moment. Our players are in Blingdenstone, the Sverfnibland city, trying to help them reclaim their city from the various creatures that have taken it over, and at the moment they are scouting out the area known as the Pudding Court, infested with oozes and slimes, and they're
all trying to get touchy.
Yes, they've been warned off and told them that now is not the time. The time will come soon when the Faceless One will greet all of them and all of Blingdenstone into their embrace.
Would
we just want
Zakan
to
know
help
if
set up.
Yes.
Zakan, yeah.
Would Zakan know if the Faceless One is like another name for Jubilex?
It is a name for Jubilex, yes.
Yep. What are we talking about in terms of how much distance between us and oozes, and how fast are they moving?
Slowly, but they're not. I mean, you came to the mouth of the cavern, and they are just coming across the cavern towards you. So the closest ones are only like 40, 50 feet away.
Yeah. If we can draw them all in a certain direction, we can approach from the other side. This may be our chance to stop the summoning of another demon lord.
So, crowd control?
Yes, we've
Something
left
like
so
that.
many cities and left them destroyed. I'd like to see if we can do something about this one.
We cannot
Okay,
let Juvilex
well-
be summoned.
Pick a side, left or right.
If we draw them into the caverns with us, perhaps we can go
Yeah,
around.
but you got to pick a side for hurting. Do you want me to do the left side or the right side here?
Left.
Left it is. And I'm going to cast Entangle on that side.
Noted. So, what does that look like as you cast that?
I was saying that they the spores from where they fell asleep have kind of like, from them rubbing their eyes so much, has like left their eyes kind of reddish. So when the mask that comes up, the butterfly shaped mask that comes up when they use their magic has like a red tint on the top of
Nice.
it now.
Nice.
And
And
then they just kind of go like this.
Can we just
Sorry,
can we also acknowledge the fierce makeup today? Thank you.
I did them the
Absolutely.
two separate colors. This side is red and this side is purple.
Awesome.
Since I don't have my
Like
hair those
the
colors
hair, yeah.
anymore.
Nice. Everyone, let's get a zoom up on the character art here, which is where that red and purple comes from.
Yeah, but they kind of like it almost looks like they're ripping it out of the ground as like gnarled like roots start coming up and surrounding them.
Okay, so yeah, you cast that magic, and there is an eruption of these things out of the ground.
Like thorny rocky vines.
And it is accompanied by a hissing, burning sound as the oozes burn their way through. They're slowed, definitely, but
Yeah, and it's 90 feet, so that's like, I know you said that they were like 50 feet away from us. The range is 90 feet of that.
indeed. As magic is cast and this barrier is put in their way, the other ones on the other side starts to aggressively lash about with those pseudopods that come out of their surfaces, and they start to undulate and move much more aggressively as they are, they become aware that they have been attacked, quote unquote, and they are rising up like almost like like breaking waves, just as they rise up and then squelch down again and keep moving forward and rise up and squelch down, and they are just coming towards you.
Corbin looks back as a kind of like, we're playing follow the leader. I just made him angry. Which way are we going? Like they're just gonna follow you?
So just like
So whichever way you lead, Zakan.
back to where we came into the tunnels, and you both get behind me, and Zakan's gonna take out their flask of oil, and is gonna start pouring it like in a sort of line as we're retreating away from this main chamber.
Okay.
So, and basically, as far as we can go with the amount of oil that they have, and we're trying to like stay out of attack range that we know that pseudopods have, but trying to draw them like down this sort of like narrow corridor so that they're all going in a direction.
Well, remind us, that the scale of the map is the scale of the map, so it's not that narrow.
Well, narrower, I
guess. yes, but narrower than the cavern itself. They do funnel into the space behind you, and when you run out of oil, you're going to light the end of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna light the end of it.
I think I have. Do you have something to light it with? I think I have, unless one of us already used it. I think I have the last pomegranate.
Oh, I've got flint.
You still have
Yeah,
plenty?
I got it.
Okay, so I just have my last pomegranate.
Okay. Good. No, I think it's just the last. He said he has a flint. Like a flint.
Okay.
Yeah.
Flint, fire steel.
I still have that. Cool.
So yeah, as you run, as the last drops of oil spill out of the flask, there's Zakan. You quickly crouch down and clash the flint against the stone, and the spark catches, and there is a whoosh as it roars along the length of the tracing oil and explodes in a larger pool of flame down the far end where it has spread out and pooled across the surface, and the flames rise up, and several of the users at the front bubble and burn. There is a horrible, acrid smell as they are torched. And the ones behind them kind of rise up and like hold back for a moment. But then as the flames are consumed by these burning oozes, they surge forward anew, and you keep pulling back there. As you pull back to the north, you come up against the caverns and passageways off to the east on the sides there, and you look down there and see an equal wall of oozes coming from that direction as well, driving you back towards the Gold Whisker Caverns. What do you do?
All right. We need to move quickly to go around the other way. If we can get back to the Dimatox, see if we can muster them up.
Okay, I have one other thing that I might be able to do so that we can try to trap them. Get them all into the thing. They've seen me use it before when I mold earth. I should be able to trap them somewhere if we can get them, and then we can escape.
What is the size of Moldith?
I know that it has different things for different types of earth. 1 second.
Okay.
Clicking it. Okay. You choose a portion of dirt or stone that you can see within range, which is 30 feet in a 5-foot square. If the target area is loose earth, you can instantly excavate it, move it along the ground, and deposit it 5 feet away.
Okay.
This movement doesn't have enforce.
So yeah, you can make the stone difficult terrain if it's on the ground. So this is a cantrip, so you just like every 6 seconds, you're just like poof, 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 firing off, and the rock surface of the cavern is buckling and rippling and becoming jagged and snaring. Like you curve the stone into little hooks that snare the forms of the oozes as they're trying to go over, and you slow them down considerably. They go from their massive 20-foot movement to 10 feet movement, and they are considerably slowed on that side. And you fire some back to the south as well, where those angry ones were coming through the burnt remains of their friends. And you fall back, pushing Webster and Charcuccio ahead of you, back to the area next to the pool in the north. You carefully pick your way through the were-rat traps that you know to be there, and back into the Gold Whisker warrens on the far side there. And as you escape out of the pudding court back towards, you do see a couple of anxious-looking were-rat scouts out looking concernedly in that direction, and they move forward. You're back? Are you alright?
What are you doing here?
This is the edge of our territory. We're waiting for you to come back.
Territory is on the other side of a gigantic wall full of oozes.
We know.
We're nearly out of time. We need to move on the court now.
Are you prepared?
Is anybody?
Look, we don't know what Chipgrin agreed with the quartermaster. Please get back to the city and inform them what's going on.
Okay,
meanwhile,
but you all need
ready
to
your
prepare.
forces.
We will.
Whatever you can.
We will. And one of them goes back towards where you had that audience with Chipgrin, the leader of the were-rats, and the other guides you through the traps to the south, and you are greeted by Swerfneblin. You notice, pleasingly, that the doors, the sealed doors between the two sections of the caverns are wide open and held open now. That barrier has been removed, both politically and physically. And
they probably need to put it back so the safety part can come back. Look at this beautiful symbolic gesture. Shut the door!
Unfortunately, not airtight, so oozes would not be too fussed by that, I'm afraid. Just imagine, it's like that scene in The Shining with the elevator and all the blood coming out. It's just oozes coming out from around the edges of the door. And you dash back to...
we're booking it.
You go running through the city with the guards, they're like, everyone, out of the way, move! And you do see, families, the children and with some parents or with grandparents are being, going into their burrows and into their homes and shutting them up. And you see all of the men and women that are of an age to fight are gearing up, and you can see this is a city that is going to war. So.
Oh, good. You all know that there's a possibility that you won't come back. This is amazing. It means we'll fight harder.
And you make your way through the city, gearing itself for combat, and are quickly led to Digomatok Hall, where Quartermaster Seni and the others, without Chipgrin, are there waiting for you. So, what have you discovered? What is it that awaits in the pudding court?
Whoever's like under her breath is like, fuck, that's what we found out.
We're nearly out of time. We need to move now. I think that the summoning is at hand, but if we move now, we might be able to stop it.
Well,
I think they just saw the type of oozes that are down there. Like, make sure you watch the ceilings. They're green ones that'll fall on you. They had some of the big ones, because there are different types of slimes. They're like, you have these to account for, people, so no one's surprised by what's down there. These are the types of slimes that are down there that you should be wary of, kind of a thing.
We drew as many to the north as we could towards the Gold Whisker territory. We should approach from the opposite side for the best chance of getting into the court itself.
If you see burnt remains on the ground, you're going the right way.
So, should we? You're saying we should go from the south?
The south
Yeah,
was
sure.
through the marketplace.
The oozes might be less in that direction, but our target is the court itself.
Lowered them up to the north.
Well, as wise Swarfneblin say, only fools rush in, but I can't help. The time it's going to take to muster our forces, and I was tempted.
I was like, it's suddenly become a rom-com.
Seni rushes over and grabs Zakan's hands.
Just
That's very gently. Oh, honey. No.
what's that song by Fleetwood Mac? And if you don't love me now. This session was directed by Taiki Waititi.
I was very happy. I played that for my 5-year-old, and he loved it. He loved the the section that was that's really famous in England, because the the guitar section in the middle that's the opening theme for the Formula One racing shows.
Oh.
So in England. So ding, 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 ding. Okay, so Seni briefs you on what decisions they've made. She tells you that Gurnik Tapfinger and this other druid that you hadn't met before, who you learn is called Nomi Pathshutter, they made appeased, if you will, or given a sense of security in that you've had banished Ogremoch's Bane from Rockblight. They are going to summon rock elementals that can aid in the battle, especially with rock's resistance to the ooze's dissolving nature. So they're planning to lead an assault with rock elementals and the were-rats, with Sverfneblin in support with ranged attack. And the head of the Miners Guild, Kazuk Pikshine, has the ability to create explosives that will blast through the collapsed areas of tunnel at the northern end of the temple that you reconsecrated, which leads into the Pudding Court. And so they are, with your advice there, they decide to push from the south. And Elora, you tell them your idea about this leader controlling them, as it seems, that's one of the key pieces of intelligence that you gained on your sortie there. And you tell them about your ideas about that, and they ask you to infiltrate again once more to the north as they distract to the south and try to find this controller, this leader of the group, of the oozes. And they agree with you that if this leader is taken out, this pudding king, then perhaps the other oozes and slimes will go back to their random, listless, mindless ways.
And I think addressing Zenny, Zakan says, the voice we heard, this leader, they said they're bringing about the faceless one. It is as you feared.
It is whatever is going on throughout the Underdark. This is clearly connected to those other rumors and stories that we heard from the other places of habitation and the frequent attacks and sightings of demons. I don't know what's going on, but there is some kind of abyssal uprising. And if there's anything we can do, it needs to be done now. You rest. Make yourselves fully prepared. First thing tomorrow, when our forces are gathered and ready, we shall blast through those southern barricades and take the fight to the Pudding Court, whilst you infiltrate from the north and try and find this leader, this controller. Take them out before we lose too many, for if their numbers are what you say, even with everything we can throw at them, I'm not sure it'll be enough.
We just need them away from that central area. We just need to be able to get in there. When whoever that controller is sensed us, it sent every slime after us.
Well,
that wasn't until we attacked it, so
don't worry.
You're just nicer this time?
We'll give them something else to think about. They'll be
as many of them as you can.
They'll be focused on us, don't you worry.
We were too late for Neverlight Grove. Let us pray that we can make it in time.
We have worked too hard for us to lose this now. Blingdenstone is ours, and we shall take it back from everyone, everything that seeks to take it from us. Now, rest. And tomorrow, cry havoc as we take the fight to them. This chapter is literally called Cry Havoc. Just thought I'd quote that in there. Cry havoc and let loose the puddings of war. Muted. So, you return to a much less jubilant than usual foaming mug, and there are a couple of Smurf Neblin in there, having a little bit of Smurf Neblin courage, little Dark Lake Stout courage, and the night before the battle. But they obviously keeping themselves ready and fresh for the next day, and you rest as best you can. You may all take the benefits of a long rest. And the next day, as you awaken, you make your way north through the city once more. But this time, you can just see groups of Sverfneblin, armored, brandishing war picks, crossbows. You see the were-rats moving from the north through the city to join their cousins in the south. And with a lumbering crash of giant stone footfalls, you see massive rock elementals moving through the scurrying Sverfneblin around their shins and feet as they lumber forwards at the behest of the druids of the Stoneheart Enclave. And they all make their way to the south. And floating over their heads you see a few ghostly figures as well, as Burrow Warden Yadger and some of the other more focused spirits left behind here after the Drow invasion are wanting to lend their aid as well. Quartermaster Seni meets you out in the thoroughfare. She's got her full battle gear on, like heavily studded leather armor, and the helmet that covers up her wide Swiftneblin head. And you see that she's accompanied by Jimja, who's also similarly equipped. He's like, "Hey, what do you think? I got some new gear at the market."
Suits you.
What can I say? I'm not going to leave you all the glory to you lot this time. Gonna get my pick in as well. And Quartermaster Seni goes to you all and says, "When you hear us blast through the barricades to the south, then you can make your move. Don't worry, it will be very, very obvious." And you make your way up to the Gold Whisker Warrens once more, and you're met by some of the more elderly members of the Gold Whisker clan, and they lead you through to that same section, and you remember how to get through the traps from the day before, and you wait together there. It seems that once you cleared the edge of the pudding court and went back into the Gold Whisker Warrens, the other slimes and oozes didn't follow. The Werets tell you that they didn't follow out. They glimpsed the edge of the forces, but they fell back once it was clear that you'd left. And you nervously, tensely wait there with the elderly Werets. And then, after some time, you hear echoing through the halls and rumbling through the rock at your feet the explosion of Kazook Pickshine's concoctions as they demolish and tear apart the barricades. And you hear the distant roar of forces and rock elementals engaging to the south. Elora. Let's let that rock elemental get their groove on for a second. Could you please roll me a d4?
Sure. Also, with all this distraction going on, is there any chance of us stealthing in, or this thing is just going to perceive us no matter what?
It's worth a try. I mean, yeah, you'd certainly think that they would be distracted by what's happening to the south.
And I rolled a 2.
A 2. Thank you. Well, let's see here.
I think we're gonna wait for our opening, right? Wait for clearance and oozes, and then see if we can get inside.
Okay, so once again, you still have the Puafui cloaks from the day before. So if you'd like to roll me another group stealth check, please, with advantage. Get him.
27.
For advantage.
Nice.
That's a dirty 20.
Nice. Corbin?
Doing my second roll. I'm glad I had 2 rolls. With advantage, 21. The other one I
Nice.
rolled a 6.
Okay, so for a nice average of 23, you start moving with the sounds of battle raging to the south. You can hear the roars of the rock elementals and the various members of the Swiftneblin population here, and just the sounds of these oozes meeting them in the corridors and passageways further down in the city. And as you start to stealth through, avoiding again those green slime areas of the ceilings, are you heading towards the circular chamber?
Yeah,
Again?
and it had like curtains of green slime like blocking the doors to the chamber, was it?
Yes, you know it's very susceptible to any kind of fire damage, Zakan.
Yeah. So I think like they're stealthing through, and Zakan will wait until like they get close to strike up
Okay.
like a torch.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so yeah, you go back to that main chamber.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you make your way in that direction. And again, there are a few oozes and things left up in this area, but they're easily avoided with that stealth check. And you manage to make your way through a much sparser populated, much more sparsely populated section of caverns, as it seems they've all been distracted and sent off to the south as the Sverfneblin attack is taking place. And you...
Good test run of the idea before.
Indeed. And yeah, you find yourselves in front of, again, that massive rock sphere in the chamber in front of you. The green slime is still there, because that's not, that's not animated. It can't move around. So what do you do when you make your way up to the stone ramp?
I think Zakan turns to the two of them and says, "Are we ready? Is there anything that you need to do before we do this? Because once the fire starts, they'll know we're here."
I don't really think there's much more that we can do. If it's not ooey, they're talking to Sharkushio. They've like taken him from behind them. If it's not gooey, don't
Yes?
set it on fire.
Noted. This is great. Here, can I?
It's all that up top, especially the icky green ones.
Okay, so as you get up to the top of the ramp, he just kind of scampers forward like a puppy and just like, and the green slime is just completely destroyed.
Yeah, Zakan had like been getting out their flask of oil again and like their flint, and then goes, "That works like well."
Right? And they look at it like, "Go have fun," and then they put him down. You're like, that also is an option. Yep.
Shakushio turns to you, Zakan, winks, and then looks inside. So you're going inside the sphere?
Yeah, and I'll say I'm holding a bless spell for
Okay.
if we suddenly wind up in the thick of it, like just holding that energy.
Alora, Corbin, any preparations?
I think. I'm gonna pick my divine weapon, because I can make. I can pick which one, like, y'all extra.
Okay.
It's like my chosen weapon as a monk. I'm gonna go with my arm blade, with my Assassin's Creed arm blade.
Okay. So yeah, you invoke the magic of the tattoo blade, and it extends out from your arm. Elora, how about you?
Nothing to prepare, I think.
You're good. Okay. Do you have an arrow notched, or you have your swords?
I have my swords.
Okay. So yes, there's the dim glade, and you can feel the elation from the sun sword. No. Yes.
Dawnbringer. But
Thank
it's a
you.
sunsword.
Dawnbringer. Yes. It's the
And then the
item is a sunsword, isn't it? Yes. Dawnbringer is just eager to bring justice and to cleanse this place of these evil creatures. And as you make your way through the doorway in the side of the sphere, you find that the interior is separated into lots of corridors and chambers. And as you move around, actually, I think the sounds of battle kind of become muted off in the distance as you come into the interior of this space. And it's eerily quiet inside. And apart from patches of slime and shimmering patches of ooze and remnants left behind on the walls and floors and ceilings in places that you can avoid, this place looks bizarre because apart from the rock surfaces of the walls, floors, and ceilings of the chambers and corridors, everything has just been completely dissolved and destroyed. So it's just scoured rock in every part of this that you look through. And you slowly stealth through the different parts of the interior of the sphere. And it's clear this was like an administrative hub. You know, they're like offices and like larger kind of meeting-looking rooms and things. There's one room that had like a stone table instead of like a Zerkwood carved table. And so that stone table is still remaining. It's like a long conference table in one room with the head chair also like made of stone, almost like a throne at the end of the table. All the others clearly having once been made of Zerkwood, dissolved and gone. And apart from the green slime dripping from the walls, it is pristine in here. What do you do?
Any sign of any movement or anything? Or any signs of something that's been here?
So y'all gotta tell me I don't have dark vision.
Are you lighting a torch?
I think maybe Zakan says to Alora and Corbin, stay here, see what you can find. I can go a bit into the darkness to see what I can find, given my abilities.
Such as Ink and Lyre, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. I hope you had a fantastic session. We are exploring the Pudding Court as the sounds of battle muted for the moment beyond the walls of this giant stone sphere. A battle for the Sverfnebelin city of Blingdenstone is raging. And as has popped up in chat there, we have a giveaway. Jump in if you want your chance to win CZRPG Encounter goodies. Welcome in, everybody. If you're not already, give us a follow.
Is it completely dark in here?
Yeah, those things don't need light at all. And there's no bioluminescent fungi or anything.
Okay, yeah, so that means that like Zakan's feature would apply of, you know, if they get into complete darkness, they're effectively invisible. Even
awesome.
to creatures with dark vision. Which hopefully this Sverfnebelin-esque thing would be relying on vision.
Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? Okay, so everything is quiet in here. I can't see.
You stay close to me, Corbin.
I am
Corbin and Laura, you
holding
could
your
go
hand.
one direction, and I could go the other, and we can go around the perimeter.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so yeah, you start to weave your way through the scoured stone of the caverns and the corridors and chambers within this spherical construction. And again and again, empty room after empty room clearly had been infested by slimes and oozes, as their trails and markings are everywhere, but it has been abandoned as they have clearly gone to meet the Sverfnebelin attackers to the south.
I can't look for anything.
Yeah, it's okay. As you make your way through the parts of these old offices, you see movement ahead, Alora. Actually, no, Zakan is basically invisible to you. So Zakan, what do you do when you see Alora and Corbin coming from the opposite direction as you make your way around the exterior and through the entirety of the sphere and meet up on the other side?
Yeah, basically telling you that we didn't find much except
which doorway?
cleanliness.
Yes, very clean. Which doorway do you meet up by? Like the south one, or this like southeast one, or this northeast one?
So we came in like here, right?
Yeah, I assume so.
I guess we'd be meeting up like on this
On
opposite
that side. Okay.
Yeah.
So where the sound of the fighting is probably quite loud.
If you head back out, you can, as you get closer, you can hear it starting to echo through again.
I think Gunzakon just calls out, like, you know, having been able to see them, says, I'm here. Did you see anything?
Other than
We found
slip
nothing.
walls. I'd still say we touched the rock.
I think I might want to investigate over by the throne and the table to see if we can find any signs of some sort of item or ritual.
You do remember. You do remember that Quartermaster Seni told you about the chambers over here, with the royal chambers as well.
That where all the broken looking.
To the south of that, this one, due east of
Oh, this one.
where you are now. Yeah.
Yeah, we can go over there. We've gone around this. We haven't found anything, and this was the big mystery chamber, but we haven't been able to find anything. So going back towards the throne, as I said, might be the best bet. Well, I mean, I'm not going anywhere without Laura, so.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. Let's head together.
Okay.
Let's check the throne room.
Our other ghost friend, if- are you coming with us, or are you going to go investigate something else? That was a
Zakan?
question for Zakan.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hang on a sec, guys.
I
Come
can
back
only-
to here.
Oh, sorry.
I can always move ahead where I can still see you, but nothing would be able to see me.
Yeah,
But-
just
Given that when we approached the chamber before, that thing, whoever's controlling these spoke out, then I think it's sensing us some different way than sight.
we must be closer to time than not, because they're not shooing us away again,
Yes.
and that's low-key terrifying. So yeah, let's find it. Go team.
So yeah,
That's
you
perfect.
descend the massive stone ramp from the sphere and back into the cavern, with the sounds of the battle raging to the south of you in the corridors. And Corbin, you swear, you see the odd occasional flash of light as some fire is being used and illuminating the corridors, but round the corner out of sight from where you are. And you make your way into the darkness to the east. And as you go through those chambers there, you come out into this larger cavern here, again scoured clean by all of the oozes that have been taking up residence, and there are several stalactites and stalagmites hanging and rising up from the floor, and
We're watching them ceilings too.
yeah. And as you make your way into that space, you see. Let's see here. You see a figure. You almost miss them. They're very, very disguised against the stone of the cavern. But you see them as they shift, looking to the south, looking away towards where the battle's raging. You see what looks like a Sverfneblin, their bald head, long pointed ears, their form draped in a raggedy, rather damp looking cloak as it hangs off their shoulders. And as you enter into the space, you hear a voice. The same voice that echoed through the chamber when you scouted out the day before.
You just couldn't wait until the proper time. until everything was prepared and everything was ready.
Alora, ready your bow.
He turns to you, and for the first time, you see the Pudding King. Here he is.
Headshot that dude.
And he ducks behind a stalagmite as Alora's arrow whistles across the chamber and clatters into the rock face behind where he'd just been stood.
So impatient, so hasty. It's not the time. It's not the time.
And the insane-sounding, slime-covered deep gnome points a gnarly finger at you and cackles.
Devour them, my precious children. Make your father proud.
And he bolts off to the east through an exit of the cavern there as two oozes drop from the ceiling in front of you, their dark forms flowing in your direction with unsettling awareness and malevolence. And as I don't think there's any way you would find out by yourselves, I'm just going to say it outright here. You are confronted by the Pudding King's children. A black pudding by the name of Princess Ebenmeyer, and a grey ooze which quickly disappears into the cracks and hides amongst the stones, known as Prince Livid. As the Pudding King's children surge towards you, we shall leave things there.
I was so ready. I was so ready.
Just for today.
Cast that bless, then release that bless.
Right? I know.
Yes,
Just like
indeed.
the glass thing, Corbin is gonna
Hold that thought,
point
hold
to
that
where
thought.
the king ran off, and I was ready.
Okay, so thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you for all of those wonderful raids, our friends at the Superior Adventurers Guild. Thank you so much, the Albert Inn. Thank you so much, Incan Lyre. Thank you so much, everyone that was coming. Did I miss anyone in between? Hang on, who was that? Guild, Superior, Albert Inn. Critical Misses as well, of course. Critical Misses as well, coming through there with a massive raid as well. Thank you all so much for coming in. An absolute pleasure to share our adventures with you wherever and whenever you are able to join us. Now, we will be back next week to confront Princess Ebenmeyer and Prince Livid, and hopefully, as Redemption comes in. Redemption, thank you so much. We are just about to finish up, I'm afraid, but you do get the chance to jump into our giveaway, so you have not missed the best part. Thank you for the follow as well, Redemption. We are playing Out of the Abyss. They have joined battle. The residents, the Sverfneblin residents of Blingdenstone have risen up against the oozes and slimes that have taken over their city, and the Pudding King is doing battle with our adventurers, along with their slimy children, as the oozes battle them in the corridors of the Sverfneblin city. Thanks for the follow, Glitchon. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. It's great, isn't it, Redemption? Thank you so much for raiding in. And please, let's not let that go to waste. Please do jump in the giveaway, everyone. We have a fantastic bundle of encounters and beautiful maps and everything from CZRPG here. Do give them a look over on their Patreon if you're interested in fantastic stuff to put in your games. Gemtime Games. Thank you so much. But like all the spell gems you can find here in Blingdenstone. Thank you for the follows, everybody. I hope you had a fantastic time in your game. Let's just give you a shout out there, Raiders. Redemption VA. Is that right? Yes, don't miss it. Boom. There it is. They've been playing Walking Dead. Oh, I hope you had a great session. Season 1 of that. Ooh. Nice. Yes, !enter if you want to get in the giveaway, everybody. !enter in chat there. we will be back very soon as we go back to our homebrewed Ravenloft game, Barovia and Beyond, later today for me, tomorrow morning if you're on that side of the world in North America. Then on Friday, or Thursday evening, I'll just go in chronological order. Please look at our schedule to see the timings in your time zone. We will be heading over and joining our friends in the Feywild for more Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Then it is our Deadlands mini-campaign with GM Josh leading us through the Weird West as we are rootin' tootin' cowboys battling zombies and the like. Then Saturday brings us to Candlekeep Mysteries and round into next week, where on Monday or Sunday evening, depending where in the world, we have a very special one-shot with guests from the Uncaged Anthology. The creatives, the artists, the writers from Uncaged Anthology will be joining us for a entirely randomly generated one-shot in the spur of the moment. Join us for that chaos at the end of the weekend. Then we'll be back into our regular schedule, Rime of the Frost Maiden, bringing us round back here to the Underdark once more. A massive thank you to everyone that joined us today. Stick around as we're going to spread that love and head off raiding somewhere else as well. And we hope to see you all again very, very soon. But not before we have chosen a lucky winner for this giveaway. Thank you, everyone who's jumped in there. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the subscriptions and everything that's going on there. A massive thank you to my players, of course. A nice combination of stealth and role-playing there today. Sneaking about the place. And we shall see who our lucky winner is, shall we? I'm going to close up those entries. Okay, good luck, everybody, as those close up there. All right, tonight's copy of the Encounters and Bundles from CZRPG goes to... Cute Panda 123, a new person to D&D. Congratulations, Panda. Ooh. Good to see you again. Thank you for coming by again. I hope you are doing very well. Cute Panda was on the end of a very, very wholesome and generous chat on Saturday in Candlekeep Mysteries. I think they have sets of dice and dice trays heading their direction to send them on their D&D journey as they start off with D&D. I hope that you enjoy this encounter design. Give it to a hardworking D&D if you're DM if you're just a player, or enjoy reading through it and have a look at those things. Perhaps be inspired to have a go at DMing yourself. We shall see. We shall see. All right, everybody. Let's see who of our buddies is online. Let's see who we can. I think Panda just jumped in the Discord as well. Everyone, if you have followed us today, check your Twitch Whispers after we go offline. I will send you our Discord invite for our followers Discord. Share your own projects. Look for players. Look to be a player. Share art. Just chat about things in general. Get all the exciting news about our special guests. Remember, we'll be joined in our next charity stream by James Hake, Kelsey from the Arcane Library, and Johnny Stanton, NFL fullback for the Cleveland Browns, as we are looking forward. Bud's face. It's like, what? How? Yeah. It's like that gif of the woman with the equations around her head.
It is, no.
He's a huge D&D guy. Like his pinned tweet on his Twitter is a miniature painting stream that he was doing last week.
No, it's just not even the calculations anymore. It's just the Reading Rainbow song now.
Thank you, everyone, and we will see you all again very, very soon. Let's see who's online. Hey, Critwitch, thank you for the follow. Do keep an eye out for that invite. I will send that over in your general direction. Oh, okay, here we go. Yes. Our wonderful, wonderful friend down there in Australia, the dreaded GM, is streaming. He was the first person to raid into our channel ever. Way back when we just started, we had 2 people watching us, and he raided in with like 75. So let us return that favor and head back to him today. A wonderful, wonderful channel. If you've got him, let those phoenixes fly. Let's spam. His followers always spam chat whenever they raid in somewhere. So just fill his chat with the phoenixes, and we will see you all again very, very soon. If you're not already, give them a follow and spread the love in this wonderful community of ours. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, players. We'll see you all again very, very soon. But that is all for today. So stick around for the raid if you've got them. Let those phoenixes fly. But until next time, as we say around these parts, Oyasumi Nasai. Oyasumi!
Yeah.
See ya.